The Grammys, the time of year we expect nothing but yet we moan anyway. Aww. And this year there's less to moan about, honestly. I don't think there has been as much backlash, as much controversy. I just see on Twitter that people are moaning that Selena Gomez keeps getting snubbed and Zayn Malik also keeps getting snubbed. I mean, poor guys, right? Their music is so wonderful that they deserve a mention. I didn't watch the event. I don't watch award ceremonies ever because it's a bunch of rich people sucking each other's dicks and vaginas and just rewarding other rich people of things because they're rich and nothing else. On top of that, it's filled with political propaganda, an excuse for people to say shit about Donald Trump because hating on Donald Trump is cool, and just everyone spouting out why we need to join together and have the world in harmony without really giving any solutions. And it's just, it's painful. It's like, we don't need politics in music. We don't need politics in films. Like, we just keep it separate. You're all rich. You're shoving it down our throats. We don't want you there. And it's another reason why usually these kind of award ceremonies don't really have that much impact on how the people will view music as a whole or even films. But the Grammys especially generally get it wrong. And I think this year they didn't get it that bad, honestly. There were just a few missteps every now and then. Overall, the nominations prior to the Grammys were actually alright. There were just so many that were just like, ugh. But you expect that with the Grammys. But this year I feel like it wasn't quite as bad. And the overall winners weren't that bad either. People are upset again because Kendrick has lost out on Album of the Year for the third time running. What does he have to do? I do not know what he has to do at this point. But to be fair, this time around, it's nowhere near as bad as losing to Taylor Swift, or when he lost to Macklemore for Rap Album of the Year. Those were way worse, because at least 24 Karat Magic is pretty fun, and the rest of the contenders in that list were also really good albums. I feel like any of those could have won, and I wouldn't have minded. But 24 Karat Magic is a safe choice. I did say in my predictions video that I wouldn't have been surprised if they'd go with this one, because that's how the Grammys do it, you know. It was the one that kind of probably pulled in a bigger audience in a mainstream level, whereas the rest of the albums on the list were mostly music lovers, and Grammys aren't about that. Which is why we need to stop getting so hung up about the Grammys, because like every year they make so many stupid decisions that you should know by this point that they're not going to give what might be the best album or the best song or the best artist of the entire year the rewards they deserve, because they just never do. But this time around they've given a lot to Bruno Mars, and Bruno Mars has had a huge year. And to be fair, since the days of Just the Way You Are, Lazy Song, and like Grenade, I do feel like Bruno Mars has improved the most out of all the pop singers that have kind of came from like the end of the 2000s and have carried over to the 2010s. I mean, he's improved way more than like a Katy Perry or Taylor Swift, easily. But not enough to warrant 6 wins, you know? Did he really need Best R&B Album? Did he really need Record of the Year over Redbone by Childish Gambino? No, because Redbone honestly had a much bigger impact than 24 Karat Magic, because you could look at that song and see it as an Uptown Funk Part 2, even if it is a fun song. I feel like Redbone had the biggest impact across music as a whole, and especially the way we look at music these days. By that I mean, I'm talking about memes and how memes have kind of crossed over to push songs to the top of the charts, and I feel like that is something in itself worth recognizing. Redbone did win another award, but he definitely Childish Gambino definitely deserved it for Record of the Year too. I was happy that That's What I Like won Song of the Year, because I predicted that it would, and it was actually the song on that list that I like the most. So I'm not really I don't have an issue with that. It's just kind of like you'll see the headlines, and people that aren't lovers of music will just see headlines and it'll be Bruno Mars takes away all the awards. And it's just kind of like, well, yeah, you're telling people what they already know, that kind of thing. Like, if it was like a different artist that not many people have heard of, at least would have been a bit more impactful on people that might have thought, oh, let's check out this artist I don't know. But they're just telling us what we already know, and that really annoys me. Like with Ed Sheeran walking away with 2 awards that he didn't really deserve. I mean, the best vocal pop album was the worst category on this entire list. Even when it was announced, I just, oh man, Imagine Dragons was on this list. Like fucking Coldplay, like it was a terrible list. Like a Coldplay EP, by the way. Not that I have anything against Coldplay on the whole, but an EP, just ridiculous. But then when I see him win best pop vocal performance in a song with Shape of You over Kesha's Praying. Kesha's Praying, have you heard that song? Her vocals are amazing. Why? I feel like even as much as anyone that might love Shape of You, because I don't, I probably have a bit of a bias against it, but even if you love that song and then you listen to Praying after, anyone would say, oh yeah, Kesha has better voice than Ed Sheeran did in the other song. Easily the worst decision of the night, in my opinion. Just so stupid. Also, terrible decisions came in the Best New Artist category, in which we saw an artist that has been around since 2015 win Best New Artist. I don't know the qualifications that they measure that award by, but just reading it, you'd assume that it's a new artist. And Alessia Cara has been around for at least 3 years now. I just don't get that. She had hits in 2016 as well. Last year she had a few. So, like, it's not like she's brand new. She's been around a good few years. What the hell? And SZA honestly deserved that the most, I think. I wouldn't have minded it going to Uzi or even Khalid. I thought it was definitely gonna go to Khalid because he seemed like the safe choice. But SZA really deserved that one, I think. The rap categories were pretty standard. Humble went away with a lot of awards in the rap songs. Damn won Rap Album of the Year. I preferably would have wanted to see Flower Boy because I feel like that was way better than Damn or any of the other albums on the list, but easily. But I don't mind it because it's Kendrick, and Kendrick deserves recognition, honestly. I say that though, but Damn easily was one of the most overrated albums of 2017, and then of course the rap song collaboration performance went to Loyalty with Rihanna, and that is one of the worst songs he's ever made. I've spoke my opinion plenty of times on Loyalty. I don't want to mention it again and beat a dead horse, but I really hate that song, and I do stand by the fact that I think it is easily Kendrick's worst song on Damn, and maybe Love was one of the worst, but just to win an award, and Love Galore was in that same category, which is by SZA and Travis Scott, which is a great song, just like baffles me. I think it's kind of crazy. Probably the fact that Rihanna was on it as well helped win that award for Kendrick, but it really is a bad song. Like, oh, come on. So yeah, I just think like SZA was snubbed a few times that night, even though I'm not a huge fan of SZA. Like, I'll be honest, I don't love her album Control, but it is really good. So like, I don't know, I just feel like it could have walked away with R&B album of the year. I would have been fine with that. It should have walked away with the Love Galore, and she also should have got Best New Artist, especially when you look into the fact that very few women walked away with an award on the evening of the Grammys, which in itself I don't think is that controversial. But then you look at how many women were nominated and where they were snubbed, and then what won over them. You kind of think like there were certainly more women deserving of awards. But just in general, I don't think we need a whole gender argument when it comes to music, to be honest. Rock Album of the Year went to War on Drugs, which is pretty cool. Easily the best album in that category anyway. And kind of cool to see War on Drugs get some recognition anyway. That could help them in some aspects because they're a great rock band. Foo Fighters won Best Rock Song. You Want It Darker by Leonard Cohen won the award. Those were ones that I'd predicted, and they were obvious anyway. They were just like, yeah, you know that's going to happen. Kraftwerk finally got a Grammy, like friggin' 30 years too late, but hey, Kraftwerk walked away with a Grammy. I think that's something in itself that we should celebrate. And I don't think there's many other categories that I want to talk about. Overall, a fairly okay night. Just obvious choices went out like every other Grammys. I don't know, I'm not really pissed off. I try not to get annoyed anymore at the Grammys. It's pointless. They're always predictable, or even when they're not predictable, they make dumb mistakes. Like, overall, the awards that went out weren't that bad. So, that's about it, you know? That's it. Let me know your thoughts on what you thought of the Grammys 2018 and what you thought should have won, what you thought deserved to win, and what you were happy with that did end up winning. Let me know. Let me know. For what it was, I thought it was alright overall. That's it. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews, videos, discussions, all that kind of shit. Hit the notifications bell thing so you know when I've uploaded. Share a video if you want to. I don't know, it's up to you. Do whatever you say. Have a good day. Have a good day.